In today's video, we are turning these lobster claws into the best Eggs Benedict you've ever had. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of More Seasoning. I am your host, Farnum, and today we are getting it popping with some breakfast. Something that I don't do a lot on this channel is make breakfast. So I wanted to sauce up today and give you guys something incredibly special, super tasty and impressive. Before we jump into that though, please scroll down, hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below and let me know, are you an Eggs Benedict type of person? Speaking of Eggs Benedict, that's what we're making, but we're putting a spin on a classic. We're doing lobster with some Old Bay butter and some nice lemony microgreens. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be beautiful. Watch the B-roll. Let's go. All right, let's go over the ingredients for this lobster eggs Benedict. I'm using lobster claws, eggs. If you wanna know what eggs to use and what is best for you, make sure you guys check out my egg 101 video. A lot of facts, a lot of knowledge in there. Unsalted butter, English muffins, bruv, fresh lemon, chives, microgreens, Old Bay seasoning, smoked paprika, white distilled vinegar, and olive oil. All right, so what we're gonna do is jump into the prep work. There's not a lot, but we wanna make sure we have everything in order before we hit the stove. That way we're not scrambling. First thing we're gonna do is get the lobster meat out of the claws. These are already cooked. As you can see, they're nice and red. I bought them frozen but cooked already. Take the back of a knife and then you're gonna go ahead and smash along the shell. Once you crack it, go ahead and peel that shell off. And then we're just gonna go ahead and try to work the meat off of that center little ligament or cartilage that's in there. It's not gonna be a pretty situation, but this meat is nice and tender. Just throw it into a bowl. Next, we gotta prep out our English muffins. We wanna use a fork. That way we have some nice rough nooks and crannies in there that we can let our butter and lobster stick to, and that's it, nice and easy, voila. Next, we're gonna prep out our chives. All you're gonna do is cut these in half lengthwise, then we're just gonna hit them with a very fine chop, scoop them up into a bowl. Next, we've got a poached egg that we're gonna prep. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna crack our egg into a bowl, just like that. Pop it open, and that's it, beautiful. Last thing we have to prep is our 4 egg yolks. So all we're gonna do is crack our egg. We're just gonna separate that yolk with our hands and we're gonna put it into a large glass bowl. So at this point, all your prep work is done. Just make sure you grab a lemon and slice a little cheek off of it. And now we're gonna switch the cameras around, hit the stove, and we're gonna put this whole thing together. Let's go. All right, so here we are over at the stove, and this is what your setup is gonna look like. Over here, I've got eggs from my hollandaise, plus my poached egg and a little white distilled vinegar. Next to that, I've got a saucepan coming to a simmer with about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water. Next to that, I've got a saute pan with 1 whole stick of butter melted. And then next to that, I've got my crab, my English muffins, my lemon, my microgreens for the little salad that we're gonna make for this, a stick of butter, and my Old Bay seasoning. All right, so there are a few moving components right here, so I've broken it up into 3 sections. That way it's very simple for everybody. The first section we've already done, which was get our water to come to a simmer in our saucepan, and then melt our stick of butter. After that, we're just gonna focus on making our hollandaise sauce, which is so simple, it's so easy, very quick, and tastes wonderful. After we do that and add it to a thermos to stay warm, we're gonna go ahead and warm our lobster up in our butter and poach our egg. And once we finish that, we're just going to toast our English muffins and put together our little lemon microgreen salad. All right, so we've got our 4 egg yolks. What we're gonna add to this is a tablespoon of water, just regular room temperature water. And then we're going to add half a tablespoon of some fresh lemon juice. Then we're gonna get a nice big balloon whisk and we're just gonna whisk this up until it's nice and creamy. And you wanna use a bigger whisk for this just because it adds a lot of air and it's just gonna go ahead and help emulsify everything. Okay, once things are starting to look nice and creamy and a little frothy, all we're gonna do is add it to our double boiler. Again, we do not want that water to touch, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna start to continuously whisk this, take about 30 seconds. And what's happening is that steam that's coming off of there is just slowly heating this up. All right, that looks perfect. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slowly add in that stick of butter. So I'm just gonna add a few little pinches just like that. Beautiful, and then we're gonna whisk that in. You wanna make sure that butter gets incorporated perfectly before adding more. Here we go again. Just adding a few teaspoons at a time. Go ahead and whisk that in. And if you feel like things are getting a little too warm, we don't want those eggs to overcook, so we can always just pull it off. Continue to go because we do not want those eggs to scramble. And then we're just gonna finish off that last little bit of butter. And let's finish this off to get off that heat just to be safe. All right, that is looking absolutely beautiful. Now, you know when your hollandaise sauce is good to go. Obviously, you can get whatever texture you want, but when it coats the back of a spoon, just like that. So we're gonna add about 2 pinches of some kosher salt and a nice squeeze of lemon juice in there just to go ahead and brighten this up, give it a little punch power. We're gonna go ahead and mix that in. Now, this burner is off. You can see it's still steaming, but we can put it back on here just to make sure things stay nice and warm. All right, so we're gonna do a little taste test real quick. So I'm just going in. It's perfect. Okay, now normally we want to keep this nice and warm, or what happens is it kind of congeals or it separates. But we're gonna poach an egg in here, so we can't leave it on here. So what I've done is I've taken a thermos, I've ran some hot water through the thermos just to make sure the inside is nice and warm, and then I put my hollandaise sauce in there for about 30 minutes at most just to keep it perfect. All right, so we've got our hollandaise in our thermos. We can see it's nice and warm in there because we got that steam on the lid, which means that it'll hold for at least 30 minutes. So what I've done is I've added a little bit more water to our pot right here because I want to go ahead and poach my eggs in. As you can see, we're starting to come to a slight simmer, and this is exactly where we want to be for a poached egg. Next to that, I've got a 1/4 of a stick of butter in here because we're about to warm our lobster up and turn this into a nice Old Bay butter. So without any further ado, let's focus on the poached egg. So for the poached egg, again, we just want a bare simmer right here, and we're just going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon of white distilled vinegar. That's just going to help keep our egg whites together. Next, we're going to use a spoon or a whisk, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make a nice whirlpool right here, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna help the egg whites wrap around each other while our poached egg is cooking. So here we go, nice and gently right in the middle, and look at that, perfect. It's just wrapping itself together on it. It's gonna be a beautiful poached egg. We're gonna keep this at the same temperature. This is only gonna take about 2 minutes. Let's check in on the lobster. Okay, so I wanted to be able to kind of give this lobster Benedict a little bit more flair than just having lobster meat on it, right? Because that itself doesn't have that much flavor. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an Old Bay butter. So I'm gonna take about, I would say, a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, and we're just gonna put it in that butter. And now we're gonna go ahead and take our cooked lobster and just gently warm it up in this Old Bay butter just to give it some nice, rich seasoning. All right, so as we can see, our egg whites have solidified. It has been about 2 minutes, and I'm just gonna take a slotted spoon. I'm gonna go ahead and drain. And then all I'm gonna do is just add my poached egg to a little bowl with a paper towel. And if we just take our finger, we can verify that that is nice and soft. That yolk is perfect inside. This is literally the perfect poached egg. All right, our lobster is warmed through. Now, obviously, it has kind of broken apart a little bit. So I'm just gonna use a little slotted spoon. Just try to go in here and salvage those big chunks that I can. I'm just gonna put them back into the bowl that it was in. Now, this isn't overpowered with the Old Bay seasoning because we have a lot of richness in our hollandaise sauce, and I purposefully didn't make the hollandaise sauce super lemony because the crunch and the lemon that we're gonna get from our little microgreen salad, it's just all gonna come together in the B-roll, you'll see. All right, so at this point, we've got our lobster, we've got our eggs, we got our hollandaise. The only thing we have to do is toast our buns and make our microgreen salad. Now, the great part about toasting these buns is we're gonna toast them in that lobster Old Bay butter. But we do have a little bit more butter than we need. We don't want them to be necessarily soggy, so I'm gonna save this. I'm just gonna pour out about 80% of it. That way we can just coat that lobster with it when it's on the plate later. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this at a nice medium heat, add a little bit more, just like that. So as we can see, things are starting to bubble and pop. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my English muffin. I'm just gonna get a nice coat on the bottom of there, make sure I get everything. That way this is nice and toasted. That's beautiful. Go ahead and do the same thing with the other side. Perfect. And we're just gonna let these go, checking intermittently about 1 or 2 minutes. Now, this is a very rich breakfast. We got the hollandaise, we got the lobster, the butter. So I wanted something that's a little airy and has a little bite just to kind of like knock everything through. And that's gonna be our microgreen salad. So all we're gonna do to this, we're just gonna add a nice squeeze of lemon over those greens, just like that. Then we're gonna add a drizzle of olive oil just to give it some nice sheen. Then we're going to add a little pinch of salt and about 15-20 cranks of some black cracked pepper. And then we're just gonna toss with our hands nice and gently because these are some gentle greens. All right, let's go ahead and check in on these muffins. It's been about 2, ooh, look at that. Oh, all that Old Bay lobsterness. Oh, beautiful. Let's check on this other guy real quick. My flip. Oh my God, that is just perfect. Nice crispiness. All right, at this point, we've gotten everything that we need ready. It is literally time to construct a work of art. I'll say nothing else besides watch the B-roll. So we're about to do the taste test. Jacqueline's off camera right now because she's in the middle of tanning, but I wanted to get her reaction. Yeah? Is it fire?
This is just as good as Meat Market. Oh my God. Oh, this is going on the menu. Oh my God.
We're switching the taste test up today. She doesn't want to be on camera because, you know, she's putting tanner on. She just dove into that thing. Let them know what you think.
That is a solid 5-star.
Yeah, is that good?
Oh my God. I want to know what you think because you're always so hard on yourself.
Oh God, dude.
That
the
egg.
Perfect egg. All right,
It's better.
It gets better? That. All right, here we go.
Fail.
Come on.
Just shove it in. Just shove it in.
Oh my God.
There's lemon in there. I can taste it, and it's so good. Damn.
That lobster, baby. Ooh, with a little bit of Old Bay. Oh, the lemon microgreens. I knew it.
That's a 5-star. I would get up in the morning, do my makeup and hair, and go to a 5-star restaurant just to order that. That's phenomenal.
Listen, I know that was a little out of the ordinary. Taste test for more seasoning. It's all good though. Jacqueline gave it a 5 stars, and you know me, if we're making it on the channel, it's a 5-star in my book. Listen, you don't have to love lobster. You don't even have to use lobster for your Eggs Benedict recipe. Swap it out with some bacon or Canadian ham, whatever you need to make it yours so that you love it. You can freak it and tweak it however you need. Hey, if you're still watching, please scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below and let me know if you're going with the lobster Eggs Benedict or if you're going with the OG classic Eggs Benedict. My name is Farnum. This is More Seasoning. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I'll make sure we incorporate some more breakfast. I got nothing else to say, but we out.